Welcome, guys, back to the channel here. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys in the US. I hope you have a great weekend, a great extended holiday or holiday. And maybe if you have the time, you can listen to this Twitter recap that I am about to do. We have some charts that we need to go through. And yeah, as always, these guys I follow, I think does some amazing stuff for Twitter. And I think you should, if you feel the same, I think they could be a good follow for you as well. Starting off with Liz, and here the forward PE ratio for the Magnificent Seven, now just slightly below the average going back to 2015. Again, this is just a different view. Many people are saying that, you know, the big sevens or the Magnificent Seven is heavily overvalued, but maybe according to this, you know, we're just back to the mean. So how overvalued are they really? Again, there are also some bearish takes, but this is definitely one of the bullish views on the big seven here. Grady, take a long hard look at this ratio. Why? Because it is your ticket out of the rat race. Huge asset paradigm shift towards hard assets is here. Fortunes will be made historically. Opportunity, do not miss. And what he's pointing to is AG, so that is First Majestic, divided by NVIDIA. So one of the biggest silver miners divided by one of the biggest tech names, which is NVIDIA. And ever since 2011, we have had this falling bullish wedge here all the way down. And what you often see is a break to the upside, but also decently often, to some degree, you can have this huge capitulation move at the end of that wedge. And this is also, in my view, what it looks like that we're seeing here. Huge move down here. Everyone is getting washed out. And that is when you will see the big move into the retest of the blue of the lower trend line, and then getting back above and testing from above. And that is your confirmation that AG, a silver miner, again, should be starting to outperform NVIDIA again. It's not tomorrow. I think we definitely have some month ahead of us before that happens. But definitely one ratio worth looking at weekly. Again, Grady here. Got the big spot, got the big breakout, and spot moved big as expected. Hugely bullish chart, big picture. Uranium miners did roughly 600% in its baby bull, and now spot it has a rising wedge on the daily. This commodity bull is and will be at the end of the rainbow stuff. So what he's pointing out to here is one huge 15-year long base here, massive breakout, huge momentum. And as we have also been looking at, we are going to visit the highs from 2007, not tomorrow, but that is the path that we're going. Most of the hard work is done, and we are going higher for the spot. Again, we're going higher for uranium prices, and that will lead to a lot higher prices, in my view, for URNM and the uranium miners individually. Will look absolutely fantastic. Still very, very early, in my view, in the uranium bull market. I agree with Grady completely here. Another chart by Grady. This is gold divided by the US CPI. Again, what he's looking at here is a rounding bottom here, and we have that formation, and we are breaking out, retesting it, and we should be going higher, climbing our way back up the ratio. Again, gold outperforming CPI, and yeah, that is just starting, and I think that will be the name of the game for this decade as well. If you look further back, there are some bigger trend lines getting tested as we speak, or even broken. So, yeah, let's get on to the next one. Rashad here, senior gold miners. The GDX looks like completing its right shoulder of an inverse head and shoulder pattern. Successful breakout could push the GDX roughly 30%. What he's pointing to is this inverted head and shoulders right here, neckline coming across, sitting at roughly, I don't know exactly where it is, but roughly 30.5 in that range, 30.5 give or take. And again, that should be pointing to a lot higher gold miners. He has made this projection here. I do think that the lead into that bottoming here is also the angle out. So I think it won't go this fast, but it will definitely go into, you know, into 2024. But I do agree with the target that we will get up to here, but at a slower pace. But still, I'll take that, no doubt. That's totally fine. J Hinster silver getting closer by the date. This is from 3 days ago, and this trend line has been broken big time here, actually. Silver up 2.5% today and looking like it wants to challenge that major long-term 2020 golden trend line coming down. So the big trend line will be tested here at roughly 25. If that gives in, we have a big move ahead of ourselves for silver. And we will be going into the 40s. Yes, I said it, into the 40s somewhat fast, because when these big trend lines is getting broken, the move is very rapid for silver. Just like we saw back in 2011, I think it was, or 10. And in 2020, we had these big fast moves. And that is where we are again today. Trend spider here, failed moves can create violent reversals. I love that quote. This is AMD in 2021. You can see this head and shoulders here. We had this bit of a fake breakdown here from the neckline, and we snapped back up again here. So what he's pointing to is the somewhat identical setup here for NVIDIA 2023. You can see here a small fake down here. Now we're back above. So are we to see a similar move here all the way up for NVIDIA? Who knows? But still, it's definitely worth noting here if that is really the case. And then the next day we had earnings. NVIDIA pulling back hard after this morning, failed to secure the blue skies ahead of the all-time highs right here. So earnings, huge breakdown here. I haven't, not a breakdown, but huge rejection here. I haven't checked the previous 2 days where NVIDIA is, but still that is a big red candle for sure. And we are probably going sideways to down for some period of time before we have any possible uptrend here. Case for silver, stunning good chart here for the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, the U.UN uranium. This is what I see. Not perfect, nothing is, but it is interesting. I agree. I don't believe we have reached 0.8 yet. What he's pointing to is the Livermore's accumulation cylinder, and we're now having, you know, somewhat of a decent chart looking at this. And if that is the case, you know, point number 7 is here, and now we're going higher. And as you can see, we haven't even broken out of the upper trend line. So if this is the case, this Sprott Physical Uranium Trust is definitely going to blast through the upper trend line and then into a big move up here. Where we will end up, I don't know. Let's wait and see, but definitely 2024 for the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust is setting up for some pretty amazing moves. Case for silver once again. Please follow this guy, by the way. He does some great charting. Uranium being up roughly 80% in U.UN and 40% in URNM. I'm pondering the idea of a transferring percent of my physical uranium holdings into miners. That makes sense in my view, by the way. My position in physical is 4x the position in uranium. Thoughts? Again, my view, I think, is correct. I think when you break that red trend line here, the resistance, that is definitely some point in time where you can convert your physical, the U.UN obviously, into uranium miners, because it seems like it will be setting up for an outperformance by miners, and that is where you want to be if and when that happens. Again, you can see the U.UN has done insanely well. Uranium, the URNM has also is up 40%, and yet it is underperforming big time the physical market. And I agree, I do think that is about to change. And when that change happens, uranium miners will be in for quite a run here. Case for silver once again. LAU, Centrus Energy, looking like strong price action. I'll be holding this one long term. Fantastic, you know, technicals here. You had that huge breakout into a higher high, and now then you are flagging down into a support zone, and now we should be going higher. I agree. It really looks like it wants to go higher again. And if we get above the flag here, breaking out, there's not a lot of resistance left really before that big high in 2021. So again, miners, a lot of them is actually looking like they really want to run here. You have Mega Uranium. What else can I remember? Laramide, Energy Fuels, Denison Mines. Looks like they want to be in for a run here. No doubt about it. Stoic, Silver Bear, UEC has had an exceptional successful year. U-Stock, but it looks like to me UUUU, which is Energy Fuels, is finally ready to outperform it. What he's pointing to is this underperformance by UUU is coming into some support here, the blue trend line coming down, and again, some sort of a falling wedge here, bullish looking wedge, and I think I agree. UUU is looking like it wants to outperform UEC, especially if we get above these highs here, you know, at roughly 2.5, then definitely we have a bigger move incoming for UUU against the UEC. And UEC has done really well, but I think, as mentioned, midweek, I think the mid-size uranium stocks is definitely the ones that is going to take over from Cameco and Sprott and Kazatomprom and so on. Last but not least, Trend Spider, a 2-year falling wedge in the making, the TLT. So that is the 20-year Treasury bond ETF. First bullish MACD cross since late November. You have it here. That is the cross. Falling wedge usually leads to a move to the upside. You have a volume node here at around 100, a tad above 100. But again, if this breaks out, rates will go down and the bond value will go up in time, up in value, obviously. So yeah, I do agree that rates have peaked for now, but in a year or two, they will be coming roaring once again. But I think we're going down a percent or two from where we are now, and then we will be going higher once again. That is all, guys. Again, I hope you stayed till the end. Have a great happy Thanksgiving. Eat some good food, have some beers, do what you do, watch some football. Have a great one, guys, and cheers.